And sometimes guys who are into red pill pickup and self improvement for men, they see a guy who they consider like total beta, total simp, and this guy is with an incredible woman. If you're a guy who had his heart broken, or maybe you went through a breakup, or maybe you never had much success with the woman you wanted, and that's why you got into red pill self improvement for men, the pickup community. But even after consuming information, coaching videos, you still haven't gotten the results that you want in your dating life. Maybe you don't attract the woman that you actually want, or maybe you attract them, but you're not able to retain them for a long-term relationship. Then this video is for you, because I'm going to talk about one of the biggest misconceptions that I see nowadays about women and about the way that you can interact with them. And it is the fact that you shouldn't be nice to them. That it's always the bad boy who gets the woman. It's always the asshole who ends up attracting a very nice, wholesome girl. And that's why you should stop being a nice guy and become the type of guy who's, always cool, a typical Sigma male at it. And look, I'm going to talk about a cycle that I see many guys go through and that I actually went through as well, which starts with being a nice guy. That's the first step, right? So maybe in your teenage years, maybe in your adult years, in your first relationships, you really wanted to make things work and you watched some Hollywood movies and you were watching the Hollywood movie where the guy is, giving flowers and being extravagant and putting the woman on a pedestal. And that's what you imitate. So you start doing all those things because you have some maybe insecurities and you're trying to compensate them by being super nice to a woman, expecting that then she's going to reciprocate and be with you. So you have your heart broken because that many times doesn't work. And you start learning about seduction, about red pill, about the fact that you can improve yourself and improve your social skills and your dating skills. And it's actually amazing because you start applying some of the tactics, which many times it's just becoming or imitating bad boy behaviors in this area. And you actually get some women. Like you actually are able to sleep with some women that maybe you meet through dating apps, through cold approach, through your social circles, through many other options like Instagram. You actually start, attracting women, and it's a breakthrough for you. So you get a feedback loop that it works, and then you reinforce those beliefs and those behaviors. So you think, okay, this was actually, super key. I stopped being a nice guy, and instead of chasing one woman and trying to impress her and trying to put forward this idea that I'm going to do everything for her, I do the complete opposite. I start being a bit dismissive, not caring what she thinks, just doing my own thing, even sometimes being a bit cold, being somebody who doesn't give too much, doesn't talk too much about himself. And you start getting some actual results because you're being the bad boy and you start sleeping with women that you find attractive. But then you find an issue. Number one, maybe you're not able to access the higher quality women, the ones that you actually want, that have an amazing, look, and also they're healthy, and also they have an amazing personality, and they're the wholesome, good girl. Or maybe you're not able to get into a healthy relationship, so you're not able to retain the women that you're dating for the long term. And this is a bit of the cycle that I see that many guys go through, the ones who get into self improvement for men. And it's one that I went through as well. And it was very weird for me because I was thinking it's kind of odd that I'm not able to, especially retain the women that I really want. There's something that I'm going to work on. And the thing that I had to work on is to get back some of the things that I had when I was a nice guy. So it sounds super counterintuitive, but it actually works. Where you combine the fact that you have some, we're going to call it attraction traits with the comfort traits, then you get the ultimate combo. Let me explain. The bad boy has a lot of attraction, raw attraction that the woman in the moment that she meets him, thinks, damn, I'm feeling some emotions that draw me into this guy. And the nice guy has comfort. The woman feels very comfortable around him. Is the kind of guy who she knows that, okay, I'm fine with this man. Like he's gonna be around. He's gonna treat me nicely. He's not gonna put on some scandal, or he's not gonna leave me stranded in this life. He's not gonna be cold. Like I can lean on this guy. When you combine the two, you get the ultimate prize. The man who she is very attracted with gives her the right emotions, and then also she knows that she can count on him. Because the reason why the bad boy doesn't really get women for long term is because the woman thinks, okay, I'm attracted to this guy and we have fun, but like I cannot trust him. Like I don't feel comfortable around him. I don't think that I can build a future with this guy. And funny enough, like many of the red pill guys that you see out there, do they actually have a healthy long term relationship? That is a very important question. Because look, I'm not saying that the only success you can have in your dating life is by having a healthy long term relationship. Like, I think that some guys choose to just, you know, sleep around and just have fun and just have an abandoned dating life, and that's totally fine, whether it's for a period or for all of your life. But I also think that many guys are actually looking for that long term partner that they want to be with and that they actually enjoy. And I'll tell you that even behind the scenes, some of the red pill guys want that as well. But since they're having trouble getting that, or they have some mindsets that go against that, then they never are able to experience it. So again, it's very interesting to see this dichotomy and this dynamic. And I'm going to tell some of the things which I consider to be like nice things that work, like nice guy things that work, and they don't make you simp and they don't make you this, man who's being stepped over. They're just things that work. And then you can also combine them with things that are attraction things. So I'm going to talk about, one side and the other, how you can combine them. Okay. So the nice things that work and they don't make you a simp. Replying to texts, like texting, fast, double texting, texting out of nowhere. Like there are many rules to texting that pickup guys or red pill guys teach that are based on complete subjective things. Like, okay, you have to wait at least the amount of time that she waited to reply to you. So maybe you send a text, okay, to a woman, and she takes 2 hours to reply to you. Then you actually have to wait 2 hours to reply to her. You're playing this kind of game where you're not giving too much. You're being a bit cold, a bit distant, not to seem needy. But the funny thing is that you seem more needy or a bit weird when you're doing those texting techniques or even ingrained habits. Maybe you've done it for so long that it actually becomes second nature and you do it without even thinking. And it makes no sense. So, look, if I get a text and I happen to be on my phone and it's from a woman that I see, okay, instant reply. You don't have to wait for 3 hours or one day or wait the same amount that she waited. Maybe she waited for 2 hours and you reply instantly. And what? Maybe then the opposite happens. You send her a text, she replies instantly, and then you see it after 2 hours. It has to be a bit more natural, and it also gives a bit of comfort to the woman that you're not playing any games and that you're communicating like directly and authentically and transparently. Number two, inviting the girl for dinner instead of just drinks. This actually works as well. So I remember that when I was very deep into pickup and going out there and doing cold approach and even coaching guys, I was like in my mind was always just go for drinks, just go for drinks, just go for a coffee, for a tea, for a, that works, that's amazing. But after a first date where you already know that there's a good vibe, you can actually invite her for dinner. It doesn't make you a simp. And okay, you have to invest, whatever amount it is in your place, like $50, $100, 150, whatever it takes, right? But you're actually investing into a relationship. If you actually like the woman already, then it's totally fine. And you can invite the girl over. And I remember there were situations where with women that I liked, they were saying to me, I was telling them, okay, let's meet for drinks, la la la. They were saying that I actually want to go to dinner with you. And not in a way where they were like trying to get a free dinner. Like these were women who could get a free dinner anywhere because they were very attractive. I remember one case in Budapest, right? And like she kept saying this again and again. And I didn't understand in that moment that it's because she wanted something more. Like she wanted a bit more comfort. She was feeling the attraction, but she was like, I need this guy to give me some comfort because that otherwise I don't feel like I want to be with him. And I'll do a little parenthesis. Most women have some insecurity. Like most people have insecurities, but especially women have insecurities as well around relationships. They have had the experience where the bad boy left them stranded after a few dates, then he went cold and he ghosted them, and they feel a bit insecure about dating as well. So they want to feel some comfort. They want to feel that the man that I'm with not only gives me attraction, but also that comfort. I can rely on him. And that's why those things like, replying fast and inviting her for dinner and even giving gifts sometime like down the line. I'm not talking about the first day, the second day, the third day, but you're seeing each other for 1 month, 1 month and a half. You can give some gifts. You can, more things, right? You can give genuine compliments to her, not only about the appearance, but even saying you miss her when you haven't seen her for a week, for two. Like things which are normal, right? Things which your old self, the nice guy self, would do. But since you have stripped away and you have, put this being nice category into, this is the devil, never be nice, never like not at all, then you stop doing things that work. You stop doing things that actually give massive comfort to the woman that actually get the girl. And the funny thing, I'll do another parenthesis, is that the nice guy, even with his flaws, which I'm going to talk about here in a moment, actually gets woman into a relationship. Like, look around, please. Like, look around you. Wherever you live, your family, most relationships, the man is kind of a nice guy. And sometimes guys, especially who are, even myself, in the past, who are into red pill pickup and self improvement for men, they see a guy who they consider like total beta, total simp, and this guy is with an incredible woman, like not only attractive, but she's also like nice, wholesome, intelligent, and they're like, this guy didn't go through the journey that I'm going through. What the fuck is going on? Like, he's doing so many things which are wrong, but he still has this very nice girlfriend with him. And some guys justify it with the fact that, okay, but the terms of the relationship are kind of fucked. So maybe the girl is stepping over him, maybe even going around his back, things like this. And yes, it definitely happens. Like this is kind of true. Many of the relationship dynamics of nowadays are a bit like not so good, right? But he's still with her. That tells you that there's something that this woman values on this nice guy. And maybe it's something that you can learn from. So again, giving genuine compliments, saying you miss her, saying you had a great time with her, saying what you feel in certain moments, like sharing transparently, not being so cold, being warm with the woman. Now we're gonna go to nice things that what being nice doesn't work, doesn't mean. What nice doesn't mean. And there's somebody who's going to watch this video and is going to think that, okay, Armen is telling me to go back to my old self, to go back to the time where I was compensating my insecurities by being nice, thinking that I'm going to get something if I, get enough nice guy points. No, I'm not talking about that. Being nice doesn't mean letting the woman disrespect you. So this a boundary that you have to have as a man, like you don't let a woman like you do not let anyone disrespect you, and especially the woman that you're with, because this gonna become a habit. This is something that I do see, like nowadays in many relationships, where even a 2 minute conversation allows me to see the level of disrespect that a man is tolerating in a relationship. The way that the woman talks to him, like it's not love, it's very rude way. The type of things that they say, the type of frames that they have. Being nice doesn't mean letting the woman disrespect you, and I recommend you not to allow that to happen and be very respectful while you mark that boundary. Like, hey, this is not fine with me. I'm not okay when you do these things. And when you mark these boundaries, the woman is gonna understand and she's not gonna disrespect you. And being nice doesn't mean being indecisive. So, should I do it? Should I don't? Should I not do it? Should I approach? Should I not approach? I don't know if we should go here or there. What do you think, honey? Where should we have a dinner? This doesn't mean nice. Doesn't mean this. You don't have to be indecisive and a bit of a beta guy to be nice. No, not at all. And it doesn't mean not controlling your emotions. So this is something very common for nice guys, which is like, since they're not able to control their emotions, they're not stoic. So they're always, very, very up and down. They feel insane sadness and they start texting the woman about this sadness and how could you do this to me and this and that. Or they feel insane, euphoria, and they overcompensate a lot with that. No, you have to control your emotions. You can feel sadness, you can feel happiness, you can feel euphoria, you can share it with the woman, but you have to control those emotions, not let them get out of control. And nice doesn't mean thinking you can't live without her. So the nice guy who's like, without her, I would just, F myself. No, it doesn't mean that, okay? And putting her on a pedestal, trying to impress her, coming from a point of, I'm going to do all those things to impress the woman. No, not at all, okay? So on one extreme, you have the jaded red pill guy who's imitating bad boy behaviors, being an unnecessary asshole to women, getting some to sleep with them. And this actually happens, yes. You meet a woman in a club, even cold approach, dating app, Instagram, you're a bit of an asshole. The girl feels certain emotions, she sleeps with him, and then not able to retain them long term or not the women that he wants. And on the other extreme, you have the stereotypical nice guy who is being stepped over, he's kind of boring, and many times what happens is that this nice guy gets into a relationship. He has the relationship game down. Like maybe every woman that he sleeps with ends up becoming his girlfriend. Like that 100% conversion rate. You know what I mean? Because if a woman sleeps with him, she's attracted enough. And then he has the comfort to retain her long term. But then the red pill guy who's jaded and the asshole, the bad boy, sleeps with a woman but is not able to retain them. So, well, this nice guy, what happens is that down the line, the woman, when she's not respecting him, she's just doing whatever she wants because this nice guy doesn't have boundaries, then either she ends the relationship because I don't feel it anymore, I'm not in love anymore, we've changed, all of these things that they tell, right? Or she actually cheats and the guy finds out, or she tells him and then the relationship goes to shit, basically. Or maybe happily ever after, this can also happen, of course, but many times this is what happens. Okay, so what is the ideal? The ideal is to have that attraction of the bad boy and also the comfort of the nice guy without the bad things that both of them have. So let's talk about attraction traits. So many of the red pill guys or pickup guys see this and they do this and it works, but then they also get some things which don't work, which I've told you, be like being cold and not sharing what you feel and not wanting to give her things, give her gifts, uh, like share that you appreciate her. But what are the actual attraction traits that work? Well, being decisive, the opposite of the nice guy, like, right? The bad boy is decisive. He sees a woman that he likes and he goes speaks with her, and he wants to go someplace and he just tells it to a woman, okay, I'll meet you here at 6. Boom, we're going there. Oh yeah, I'll take you to this place, it's amazing. Oh, let's do this, let's do that. He's decisive, not only with the woman but in his life in general. He's on his purpose, so he knows what he wants. And many of the bad boys just want, let's say, just having fun and going partying and just surfing or whatever, but many of the others, the more sigma male type, he's just going for his goals, right? That's super attractive to women as well. Masculine body language, so usually he has a deep voice, good body language, relaxed, good visual contact. So you're on a date and you're looking at a woman, there's sexual tension, it's amazing. Not being afraid to offend her, joking with her. So remember, the cool guy in your high school, how he spoke with women. He would like constantly joke around and like bully them a bit, but in a nice way. The girl would laugh. The girl would be like, "Oh my god!" Right? So these are the things that work not only in high school, but also when you're with a woman, you're able to joke around with her without, being super afraid of offending her. And as I've said in other videos, my type of humor is a bit extreme and it's kind of fun. It's the type of humor that I also have with my friends, and it's just not being afraid of losing her. This is also one of the traits of attraction. Like the woman feels that you love being with her. This is what gives comfort, okay? But you're not afraid. You're not afraid of losing her. Like you would feel incredibly bad. You would feel pain, sorrow, sadness, but you know deep down that you would be fine. And when you truly know this, you have this belief, the woman feels it, and this creates attraction. Like, oh my God, this guy is not with me because he needs me in like a toxic way, but he's with me because he wants to be with me. Natural communication, very little filter between what you think and what you do. So again, think back to the bad boy. He's just spewing things, like, oh, just this joke here, this that. He tries to have physical contact with a woman. If she's not with it, he's fine as well. But he's not constantly judging himself. This is something that the nice guy and the more like logical mind guys have. They're constantly judging themselves and they're indecisive because of that. You're judging yourself so much that you think that every action that you do is going to be wrong. So you're thinking about the pros and the cons, and it makes yourself being decisive. So again, if you have these attraction traits, being decisive, being in your purpose, masculine body language, not being afraid to offend her, joking with her, natural communication, not being afraid of losing her, and then you also have the nice things that work, which is replying text fast, double texting, inviting the girl for dinner instead of just drinks, giving genuine compliments, saying you miss her, saying you had a great time with her, saying what you feel, giving her that comfort and that attraction. Then you have the ultimate combo to look, if you want to have a high quality dating in abundance with a woman that you truly want, you get that. And if you want a healthy relationship with the woman that you really want to be with for the long term, you also are able to get that. And it's when I mastered these two traits, the attraction and the comfort, that my results in my dating life skyrocketed. And after that, remember that I told you that I had the issue of I was going out there, cold approaching, having amazing experiences, sleeping with women, but for some reason, damn, why is it ending? And maybe I didn't want it to end. What the heck is going on? Well, when I understood this and I mastered both the attraction and the comfort, pretty much every single girl that I was with after that, every single one wanted our relationship with me. So we had something together, we had a few dates, we slept together, and every single one of them wanted something more. And either I ended it, or, you know, um, or we were together for some time, and then things ended, or like right now, I'm in a healthy relationship with a woman that I truly enjoy being with, and she's amazing. So that goes to show you that if you go through those two, and look, I'm never going to be ungrateful for what the pickup community or the red pill community or the self-improvement for men did for me, and even continues to do with me for me, because it got me into an epic journey where I went from that really like super nice guy. Like, I actually used to give flowers to girls in my high school, and maybe we didn't even talk in person, but I was doing all these extravagant things, being the nice guy, being super emotional with women, and it didn't work. It actually pushed them away. So I would get a lot of initial attraction, but then I was the typical nice guy, and it would push them away. So I went from that to, epic journey of many years of cold approaching, you know, abundance with women, working on myself and getting amazing results. And then I had to get back some of those nice traits to complete, my attraction and comfort stack, so to speak. So I'm never going to be jaded about the things that I've learned, but it's also important to understand that some of those things that you learn you might be learning the wrong thing along with the right thing. So sometimes it's a pack. Imagine that this a full package that you get of knowledge. Let's imagine that this is a book, and in this book, maybe 75%, 80% of the things that are in this are just la crème de la crème, amazing. But along with it, there's 20% of things which are bullshit, which are things that you don't need, which are not good for you, but you get them along the good things. And here's the tricky part. Since you get the good things, you start applying them, you start getting results. As I was saying, you get women, you get, hookups, you get women who are actually into you. And you reinforce the good things and also the bad things that you're learning. So again, it's very good to consider, if you're still not at the point where you want to be in your dating life, consider some of the things, consider some of the nice traits that I've described here, and start applying them for yourself and for your relationships. That's it for today's video. And if you're a guy who wants to naturally attract the woman that you truly want, to either have high quality dating in abundance or meet your ideal long-term partner, then you can go to armengaribian.com. That's my website. And you'll be able to watch a free case study of 30 minutes where I cover how to do that exactly. And if we're a good fit, you'll be able to book a call with me and see if we can work together on your dating goals. That's it for today's video, and I'll see you on the next one.